See that there, fellas? It's dripping. Now, as you can see, coolant's at a high level. It's bleeded. Let's see. You hear that? Just let that bleed. Air's out. Now, take it to the dealer. They tend to overfill that bad boy. And you see that right there? That is a result of too much coolant in there blowing out. Because those right there were the lines that water from the air conditioner, all that condensation, all that moisture get all up under here and messes this all up. So it's an $800 job at the dealer to replace that one pipe that you see. Oh, I heard something blinking. Let me, I'll keep it rolling. Focus down there. Be right back. So, as we can see, we got a little puddle. But what the problem might be is that line might need to be replaced, which goes all the way up to there, which is this hole's right here. So this one might have to be replaced because that line was so brittle. I'm talking about here was so brittle that it snapped inside there. So there might be corrosion in there that's not allowed to sit perfectly because I ripped out a piece, maybe. Or maybe it's, this clamp is just, yeah, look how loose that is. But I mean, it should do that, but maybe not so easily with my hand, you know. That could be what it is. Maybe if I could do that with my hand, this clamp is gone. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually reinforce it. As you can see, it moves a little bit because I had to do this myself. And it was like doing bench presses for an hour because there's a whole bar. It's one whole piece. These two pieces right here, these two pipes are one piece. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connectors. Okay, because it connects on both ends because it runs straight along here. And this bolt right here is the one bolt that holds it in place. And there's another one back behind here in the frame that you can only get to from the other side that holds it in. And then everything else is just clamps. So the dealer gave me, let's see. I even have that here. See, these are the clamps that holds them. You see, I have an extra one because I replaced one with, where did I put it? It's probably inside the truck. Yep, you hear that air leak? I'm about to do an experiment too. So I replaced one of them with this bad boy, which is way easier to set up and get to, because there's one spot that's like a biatch to get to. Yeah, I know this is fuzzy, but there you go. So there's a spot that is really hard to get to put back those original clamps. So I used this one instead because the dealer wanted me to use this on the both ends, but the both ends were really good. I mean, it's not leaking. We'll find out because we're going to put that back. But that leak, which is right here, I don't mind so much because the coolant has to be pressurized to be put in. So basically, it's just showing me the weak spot. So it's not dripping as the truck is idling or running or anything like that. High pressure, a lot of air in the system is blowing out the coolant that's in there. And obviously, that's going to be the weak spot. But these lines were corroded. If it wasn't for this big ass bolt right there in the corner, I would have gotten done within an hour. But it's but that's a bolt to the frame. So it makes sense. So actually, right now, I ripped it off because it's aluminum, so I was able to be ripped out manually, literally doing bench presses on it. Okay, just working it back and forth by hand. I'll probably say for maybe 30 minutes. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because there was no way I was getting it out without taking it to the dealer, paying $800 or waiting 2 days, and then my guy can't drive. So what did I lose? So I already lost a week, but I got it back. But this is really not that difficult to do if you're in a pinch. But these two lines get corroded so bad, like that rush you see there, that's beautiful compared to what that one had looked like. It was like brittle, like the whole thing was just like, I pinched the one hose, which is leaking over there, with a wrench to just move it off this clamp, because you can see it's not on the clamp anymore. And it immediately started leaking. This hose was the one that was leaking from the clamp, because it was a small pinch hole and it was leaking out of there because it's all corroded. So they do this aluminum casting mixture of whatever they put in it, and it just erodes because the AC and the salt and all that stuff gets all over it. And if you're not keeping an eye and oil and WD-40 in your truck during the winter, summertime, saying just keep it greased up to to control as much rust and corrosion as you can. It's gonna do that. So real simple job. So like I said, the dealer gave me 2 of these, and I put all the other ones back in place. And it took that's correct. It took 13 gallons of coolant to replace everything. So yeah, it was serious. But these 2 clamps, there's 2 other clamps on the end, and there's a 5th, and it runs right along the base. So right now it's actually sitting on this bolt, and there's another bolt inside there that it's sitting on. And it's in place. It hasn't moved, hasn't been rubbing or anything. It's literally sitting on the bolts in place on the ridges. And I got to go back to the dealer and try to see if I can find a bolt that I could put over those bolts temporarily until I have time to bring it into a shop to take the whole, that suspension, that's the shock bump stop, and if you could get to the one in the back. But in the meanwhile, sucker's rocking. It's in place. It's stable. I'm gonna zip tie it so that way it just won't rock, but not too tight, because that's plastic. So that should be good, and that's it. Just zip tie it so that way at least it has something to hold it to, because that piece right there that actually holds up to aluminum, that sucker is was bending it and doing all other kind. It was doing whatever it wanted to do to it, and that thing is stripped. The bolt spins, won't come out. So I gotta take the time and get to a shop to get it done right. So probably in about a week or so, or 2, or 3, or when something major happens, then I'll get it fixed. Who knows? You know how it is, truck driving life. We try to prevent things from happening, and at the same time, if something's working and it's working good, you just let it rock. So, I got the beast back, and I'm happy to see her back on the road with someone who takes care of her. Later.